What's up, traders? My name is Andrew. I want to take you through a quick daily review. It is Monday, April 22nd, and yeah, let's just jump right into it because it's been a messy Monday. Here's the NASDAQ chart. There are 18 trades on this chart, and I ended the day $710 down on these trades. And man, what a mess. The frustrating part to this whole thing is that there are two opportunities on this chart that scream at me. And if I had just been patient and hyper focused on those two entries, I wouldn't have had to spend all that mental capital on any of the decisions I made throughout the day. And I'd have been wholly profitable at every given moment. So just a real quick recap what we've got going on here. So I am short on the break of the daily. Somehow made a little money on this trade as I kind of started discretion. I don't know what it was. Just decided not to sit in that, which wouldn't have been that big of a deal because given where the stop loss is, could have handled that heat. Once it does genuinely break below, I do actually get short. I'm in this trade, but guess what? I didn't take the whole thing. I cut it about here. I missed the entire move. I don't even know what it was within those candles that told me get out of the trade. Like I don't. It was like we kind of had this thing going where it's like see money, take money. Okay, great. Trade the chart though. So it's really a tough spot to be in because you want to hold on to your trades longer, right? You want to be able to sit in the trades longer, especially when they're moving in your direction with your bias. Yet at the same time, you want to protect the capital and you want to be taking profits when profits are presenting. So anyway, with this trade, very frustrating because that would have set up the whole day. Instead, I missed this whole move because I get stuck here. Now, the big thing about this particular trade right here and why and we're going to get to this, why planning this out would have been something that would have helped me at this point is the day opened with a gap, right? And more often than not, after the market opens with a gap, it will find a way to trace back and fill the gap in, okay? Could have had a bit of an idea that and accepted some risk on a play back to fill that in. And sure enough, it does it. This white line is the market open for the day. And in a rush after the open, we run right back down to that spot right there and bounce. I could have just planned on taking my profit right there and just sat in that for about 10 or 12 minutes and been there. Regardless, besides the point. Now, after that, I'm trying to chase the profits and then, should have been thinking about getting short on this break, could have made a little bit of money here, and discretion probably would have had me out here as we were leveling off and not breaking any lower. Instead, I tried to take that long and then flip and try to take it short. I'm just like nickel and diming myself, losing some of these, winning some of these, and then trying to take it long on this. This is actually where the bounce really does look like it's about to happen, but then it pulls back one last time to hit this low of day anchor. And I cut the trade. Like somewhere in this second minute of the trade, I'm out. When if I just held in, if I just accepted the risk that I put on, I could have held in all the way back to the daily and made another nice profitable trade. And that would have been two good trades at that point for the day. I could have been done. Even if I don't want to be done and I want to come back in another hour and find this third trade here for the long, which we'll get to in a second, I'm profitable for the day. I haven't spent an exuberant amount of time trying to make decisions in all the in-between areas here on whether I wanted to be long or short. So missed this long, try to take this short when it breaks back below the high of day anchor, cut that quickly because what am I doing? And then I get into a long here, get nervous because we're at the daily, get back in long again. This whole thing right here there's actually 3 longs in here because at some point I thought about getting short because we weren't pulling away from the daily. What an idiot. Again, making too many goddamn decisions at this point. So there's 3 longs in here. Somehow I come away. At this point, I'm not in a bad spot. I'm actually probably a little bit in the green on my NASDAQ trades. It's not until after I miss this move here and I start trying to chop up something. This isn't even real. Hold on a minute. We're missing something. Hang on. Let's play this out. There we go. If I had any sort of level-headedness coming into the afternoon and hadn't spent all sorts of effort on trying to do any of this, the play could easily have been, mind you, this was a decent one. It could easily have been us coming back, retesting, and then sellers not taking control through the daily and taking, I don't know, that break right there with a stop below that structure and just taking it into the afternoon. Could have taken this break. That would have been acceptable on this little swing VWAP that we have, the swing high VWAP that we have. Even the A2. I mean, if you're really patient and really waiting for some conviction to get in the trade, this is the opportunity to do that. And again, the stop is always going to be this level. I've got plenty of lines of defense. I've got this high of day anchor. I've got the daily right here underneath, and I've got this low of day anchor all sitting here. I realistically could just put the trade here because I don't even want to be in it at that point anyway, and just made sure that the contract size matched up with that stop loss. But again, just a pretty clear and evident opportunity. There's very minimal risk because if I'm 500 to here, I'm only losing 250. And sure enough, this trade is, I mean, aside from this consolidation, you're already at 2R, so you're up 1,000, and then it just rips again and goes to 3R. So you're well over $1,500 on this trade if you're patient and you don't get scared of any of this sort of consolidating movement here, because at no point does this really have an aggressive drive back down to say, oh, we're in a pullback, better take profits. So then I just chopped the shit out of myself up here as well. So that's how the trading day went, and I'm just really having an issue right now where instead of just taking the 3 trades, the short here, right, taking this short that I could have planned for, taking this long that, you know, maybe I'm not planning for that, but if I really feel the need to be in that long, just putting on, maybe put one contract on, risk $200, $300 back to the low of day here, and just, you know, take a chance. Shit, if it goes for, you know, 1R and I take $300, I mean, am I really going to be upset about that? No. And if I'm not going to be upset about the loss either, then it's really not that big of a deal because I just made $1,500. At this point, I'm playing with house money. This day could have been very different with just a few key decisions. Not just decisions, but also planning. I'm not planning my trades right now. It's just driving me nuts. So I'm down pretty, not significant on the day. I'm down about 1% on the day because I also had a couple of trades on ES this morning too, which they're ugly as well. Do I have them on the chart? No, I took them off. We can get to them later. So real quick, let's just go over the journal. So here you can see down 1% on the 150K. Just not in the zone in the morning session. Didn't do my morning routine. Right now I'm in the middle of redoing my garage. Might move this whole operation into the garage right now. So I'm trying to finish that up. And right now my garage is a mess, which is where my gym is. And because it's a mess, I can't get in there, can't work out. So it's kind of like messing with me a little bit and kind of, you know, working on my subconscious. I'm letting this false sense of confidence control my trading edge right now. So I've had like 2 weeks of like doing these like quick in and out trades where I'm finding profits, and it's just I know, and like at the back of my mind I know it's not sustainable, and I'm not really doing anything about it. And that's another thing that I'm kind of griping with, right? So usually when I'm in a consistent losing situation, I can kind of decide like, all right, time to go back, review everything, because I'm racking up losses. Something's going wrong here. I got to figure out what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? And how can I kind of separate the two so that I'm back on the green side of things? But because I'm finding success with what I'm doing, I don't really know what to do and go back. But as soon as I started writing that, I started to have this realization of why I'm doing it, which I go on to explain, which is I'm chasing the market because I'm impatient and want to consistently be on the winning side of a trade without risking any money. I'm not accepting the risk that I'm putting onto the trade, which I'm also putting too much risk on the trade. With that being said, I'm putting 2 or 3 contracts on, which, given the stop losses that I take, which tend to be about 5 to 10 points on ES and somewhere between 20 to 30 points on NASDAQ. That's not ticks, as points. So that could be 100 ticks on a NASDAQ trade, which with 2 or 3 contracts, that could be about $1,500 to $2,000. I mean, that's a significant portion of the account right now, especially when I've got the trailing drawdown. So it's more risk than I'm willing to take on. And that's causing me to lose faith in sitting in the trade. I'm trading the P&L instead of trading the chart, and I'm not accepting the amount of risk that I'm putting on the trade. These are two very vital pieces to my trading, at least. So I need to go back to accepting the risk that I'm putting on a trade, go back to that comfortable spot of $500 of risk, figure out how many contracts that's going to be, and get back into that zone. That way I can sit in these trades longer and actually snipe my entries, as opposed to just trying to quickly chase the opportunities up and down on the chart. And then the biggest thing that I realize that I'm not doing right now is planning my trades. I'm not sitting with the charts for the 30 to 40 minutes I need to in the morning, going with a top-down analysis, getting back into that, maybe even, I don't know if I need the weekly, but definitely going like daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, just trying to, visualize where price might want to go, what we're looking, and what my plan should be, in order, not just to like, oh, what's my bias today? Is it long or short? No, it's if-then statements. If we break yesterday's high, how am I getting in long? If we break Asian range high, if we break today's high, how am I getting long? And then the same thing on the other side, and seeing where the price targets are and having that all written down and prepared, because right now I'm not prepared. Yes, trading is a very reactionary sport. Okay, like it is a read and react type of thing. Nobody should come into the day and say, oh, I'm going to be long today and I'm only taking longs, because maybe today's not the day that buyers are all going to be present. It could be a sell-off. So we need to read and react, but we need to be planned on how we're going to react to what we're reading. All right. And we didn't get this far with technical analysis not to be able to create the thesis around how we're going to trade. So I'm taking the reins back tomorrow and I'm going to own my shit. All right. Fortunately, the damage that's been done is not detrimental, not overly detrimental. It's something I can come back from. I've been in a lot worse position than this. Losing 3% a day when you've got $1 million total of funding challenge accounts that's a pretty heavy spot to be in. So we will prevail. Today was a good lesson. Definitely a good lesson. So stay tuned tune back in at the end of the week to see how things panned out, and hopefully I've got some good news for you, and I'm not sitting here fucking griping over the fact that I did exactly what I did today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Because if that's the case, then I might have a visitor named Austin at my door getting ready to take me out. If you enjoyed this review, hit the like button for me. If you want to stay tuned for the remainder of it, make sure you subscribe so that you can keep track of how things are going. And, if you have questions or comments, want to roast me down below, please send me a comment, ask me a question. Be happy to answer. Be more than happy to answer. Yeah, can you tell them a little off on today? Yeah, no, it was not a good day. Not really the best day. But live and learn, baby. Live and learn. All right, till next time. Thanks for watching.